right. Briterion Selection is back, bitches. Back on the sports tip. I'm your host, Kevin. This is my boy, Kris.
What's that?
So, a lot of sports shit going on right now. Last night was a crazy ass game between Lakers and Bulls. I know you're happy to see that.
I love that.
Well, that's the thing. I have a love-hate relationship with the Lakers because I would say I'm a Laker fan. I love the Magic, Kobe Lakers, that whole run, but I'm not a LeBron fan. So if LeBron is on the team, I can't be fully invested in them. Like if they lose, I'm not sad because it's like he loses too. You know what I'm saying? um, and he's having this whole controversy with Stephen A. Smith, and he was on this Pat McAfee show talking a lot of shit, spitballing and just dissing people. He dissed that Brian Windhorst guy, whatever the hell, who deserves to kind of get dissed because he talks a lot of shit for a fat dude. I remember when Luca last year, there was a meme where it was like Brian Windhorst, and the writing was like Luca is fat and slow, and there was Brian Windhorst sitting there. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Anyways, so speaking of LeBron losing, yeah, this Laker Bull game last night was crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Um, all the lead changes, you saw that, right?
yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah,
There's always hope, guys. 12 seconds left. What were they down? Like,
yeah, like 6, 7 points, right? So,
yeah,
yeah, it was crazy. Um, yeah, but they just couldn't miss in those last few shots. They just couldn't fucking miss. Three after three, and then the Josh Giddy three walk off. That was fucking crazy, dude.
tell me LeBron ain't pissed off about that Giddy
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, and yeah, he shot it on LeBron. LeBron was the one contesting him.
Nice.
And so LeBron turned around like, oh fuck, and you could see him like from behind, like you could see LeBron's head like, oh my god, like that. After he made the shot, it was hilarious.
That's my new screensaver.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And
I
then
needed something after Tatum, like his whole bitching about Tatum fouling him and he didn't make that final point
right,
last year.
yeah,
This one was going to be the new one.
yeah. So crazy game with the Bulls and Lakers. That was awesome. And then I like Giddy. I think he's cool. Nice to see some Australians in the NBA. Even though I don't know what happened with his whole sex with a minor thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's still pending or they threw that out or what happened with that. Did you ever hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Some chick when he was in Oklahoma, she posted a pic with him and her and on Snapchat, and it said like just fuck Josh Giddy. That's what it said.
Were
Just
they
like
wearing
that.
clothing or was it just.
Well, I think it was like from the neck. He was shirtless, and she was like, wearing a bra or bikini or something like that.
That's pretty indemning. What's the word?
Yeah,
Damning.
yeah, it's damning evidence.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was like 16 at the time or whatever. But then I don't know, something worked out. I guess he said, "Oh, I went by Australian time, and I thought she's not a minor." Crikey.
You made it rain. You made it rain in the
I,
law offices of Josh Giddy
of
and
Cohen and Cohen.
Cohen.
Yeah, I mean whatever. So he made this crazy shot. It was a crazy game. The announcers, I loved hearing the passion in the Chicago announcers. They're like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest game ever!" It's like you'll see that highlight long after we're gone. I'm like, geez.
Bulls are on quite a run right now. They're looking pretty tough. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, what aren't they still in like seventh place or
Yeah,
eighth?
but they're kind of inching up, I
Yeah,
think, little by little.
yeah. No thanks to Lonzo Ball. But yeah, no, it was a crazy game, really good game, and I mean, I don't think the Lakers are done. I'm sure. What's his name? JJ Redick. He was hella pissed. He was like in the post game show. He's like, "I'm devastated. It's devastating." But I think they'll regroup. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Every little thing counteracts. You know what I'm saying? So Dodgers fans, I'm sure they're happy. They won yesterday. They won the World Series. But I'm sure Dodger fans are Laker fans, and they saw that shit last night. So uh, karma always lines up. You know what I'm saying? Um, what's his face? Ben Simmons. He's a big Boston guy. Loves the Celtics, loves the Red Sox, loves the Patriots, all the teams that I hate. Um, Maybe the Celtics not as much, but yeah, I hate all those teams. I hate the Bruins too, and I don't even watch hockey. I just want to throw them in.
Have you
Uh,
ever been to Boston, Mr. Otis?
no, I haven't.
See, that's your problem.
I'm sure it's a lovely college town, but what has Boston given us? I'm from.
Freedom. They
Here's the
gave us freedom, Mr. Otis.
here's the thing. I'm from Southern California, but I love New York teams. So I love the Yankees. I love the Knicks, and I love the Giants, New York Giants football. Um, so you might ask why that is, and to me, it's like everyone should be fans of these teams. You know why? Because New York has given us hip hop. You wouldn't have hip hop if it wasn't for New York. Okay, you wouldn't have a lot of music in general. You probably wouldn't have punk because the Ramones kind of invented punk, and they're from New York. The punk took off in England when the Ramones toured there. All the Sex Pistols, they saw the Ramones play and they're like, oh shit, we're all starting bands. The Sex Pistols and Clash, were all in the crowd for the first Ramon show over there. They basically invented punk. They invented disco. That whole '77 New York time was great, and that invented these genres basically of music that, especially hip hop. I think that if you're a fan of hip hop, you have to be a fan of New York because that's where it really came from. Second off, you have to be a fan of New York because of Marvel. If you're a fan of Marvel comics, you need to be a fan of New York because that's where it came from. You know what I'm saying? All the stories are based out of there. I mean all the main ones. You know what I'm saying? All the 60s Stanley stories, Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a fan of that shit, you have to be on New York's dick a little bit. You know what I'm saying? so, um, but I digress. Okay, so what I was gonna say is all like Dodgers fans are happy Jack, but then they see the Lakers lose like that, and they're humbled a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What I have to say to you, Boston Red Sox a-holes about 04 coming back against the Yankees, the way that counterbalances is New York Giants 07, 08 Patriots. You know what I'm saying? So the Patriots had a perfect season. They won every game going into the Super Bowl against the Giants, and then the Giants kicked that ass in the Super Bowl game. So they didn't get the perfect season. So you guys can talk about 04, but New York can talk about 07, 08 NFL. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the world like counterbalances. You know what I'm saying? You can't be too high because some shit will bring your ass down. So LA fans are in purgatory right now a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think the Lakers are done. I think they'll bounce back. Luca. I just feel like Luca is like the type of dude, especially where he doesn't let things depress him. He's just like, okay, whatever. Next game. A loss is a loss, whether you lose devastatingly or you lose, you know, just barely, or you get blown out. A loss is a loss, just the same. You know what I'm saying? You got to bounce back the next day and get back on it. I'm sure. And then when the playoffs start, anything can really happen. Usually in basketball and football, the best team, quote unquote, tends to win. Like 70% of the time. It's not like baseball where you could have the shittiest team ever playing the greatest team, and that shitty team could beat that great team because there's so many variables to baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think the Lakers will be fine. I'm sure they'll bounce back, and then when the playoffs start, we'll see. I just want the goddamn playoffs to start already. It's taking forever. This is
Yeah.
literally like the basketball season. I'm just waiting months and months for the shit to start. So hurry up. Yeah, it'll be fun. And then your Celtics, they're still looking good, even though your man Tatum is down. They still look good.
Yeah, they got guys who can step up, shoot threes. I mean, they've got probably the best bench in the NBA. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that.
Yeah.
They got guys who can step right in and start on other teams. But yeah, I want Tatum to be healthy. I want everybody to be healthy when we get to the playoffs. So there's
Yeah.
no margin of error.
Right.
But they'll be playing some. They might play the Heat or might play the Bulls. I'd rather have the Heat, especially with Butler gone.
Bulls are looking dangerous.
Yeah, they're on a
Giddy effect.
streak. They're winning.
Giddy is giddy. Um, um, maybe Celtics should just set up some to catch a predator thing in the hotel, the Bulls hotel or something. That might be the only way to derail them. Speaking of the Bulls, well, speaking of Giddy, so I guess this is like Giddy's last night. That was Giddy's fifth triple double of the season. That's second behind only in the franchise. That's only second behind Michael, obviously, who has 15. Yeah, he had 15 in one season. Most triple doubles, not triple or like quadruple doubles, I guess. So yeah, he's killing it right now. But to me, that kind of answers your question. All you people who think that Scottie Pippen made such an impact, like Giddy, it's Giddy who's number two on the quadruple double season list or whatever list it is. It's not Pippen. Pippen is not the one. He's not second on that list. You know what I'm saying? And you could give me this shit. They play different positions. There's different times, different era, whatever. Like Pippen was a role player to me. You know what I'm saying? He played his role. When Jordan was there, and he complimented him very well. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the type of dude who could be the leading man and do triple, quadruple doubles consistently. You know what I'm saying? That was not Pippen. And when you saw Pippen on other teams, the year after he went to the Rockets or whatever, and he was fucking horrible. He he didn't do very well, and they had an all right team. It was aging. Barkley was still there. Clyde Drexler was still there. I think Sam Cassell. No, Sam Cassell wasn't there yet, but wasn't there anymore. But yeah, Pippen could have easily slid in and been the leading man. It was like finally his chance, and he couldn't do it. And then when he saw his ass go to Portland, he was pretty shitty there too. He lost to the Lakers that year, that 2000 team, which is like one of the greatest Game Sevens of all time. So it was 2000 Western Conference Finals, Blazers, Lakers, and it went to a Game 7. And the Blazers, they had a good ass team. Every dude was fucking athletic. All those dudes were built like Rasheed Wallace, and you know what I'm saying. And Rasheed Wallace was on the team actually. So you had Rasheed Wallace, you had Steve Smith, you had Pippen, you had Sabonis. He was the center of that team. Not the son, the dad. They had a good ass team, and Stoudemire, Damon Stoudemire, who was good. I thought he was really good. And the Blazers were up like 13 points going into the fourth quarter, and it just looked like the Lakers were going to lose again. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers, Shaq and Kobe just mounted this great ass comeback, and they ended up winning, and that was the first of their three-peat. You know what I'm saying? But they really had a fight for that game. But that's a classic fucking game. You guys got to watch that. If you haven't seen it, check it on YouTube. It's a great game. But I'm trying to say that Pippen, he wasn't as great as people like to say he was. Like John Sally said he was like greater than Michael or some shit like that. Some blasphemy like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy it. That was our NBA wrap up. Thank you. We're moving on to another sport. MLB baseball just kicked off opening day yesterday. At least site wide. I know the Dodgers played the Cubs in Japan like 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is fucking random as hell. But
Big
and
market.
and those were like legit games. Those are part of the season for them. So, but no one else got to play until yesterday, and yeah, it was a good opening day. My Yankees won against the Brewers. They look pretty good. The closer from the he actually came from the Brewers, who's pitching for the Yankees now, Devin Williams, and he looked a little rocky, but he ended up closing the deal. And I got to give props to Austin Wells for becoming the first catcher to ever hit a leadoff home run to an opening day. That's awesome. I mean, I know people are saying they're not fans of the catcher hitting leadoff. That's kind of weird, but sometimes you got to use like unconventional wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You gotta change the game up a bit, flip the script. I'm sure he'll be DHing sometimes. He won't be catching. We have like two other catchers. Ben Rice can catch too. Um, the other guy, JC Escara, whatever, he can catch too. So I think we have some flexibility. Speaking from the Yankees, it seemed like every major team like won yesterday. Like your Red Sox won,
Yes.
your Padres won,
All right.
your Dodgers won.
Boo.
Yeah, so Dodgers won. Otani homered, and Tom Hanks was there, and he was fucking going crazy. He's like, "Oh fuck yeah, Otani!" Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Hanks was there. I'm sure other celebrities were there, but Hanks was there with his family. And he was like, "I told you." He was like pointing after he hit that. He's like, "I told you he's gonna go deep." Uh, yeah, watch the highlights of it. It's pretty funny. So yeah, Dodgers are 3-0 now, thanks to this Japanese field trip they took.
Well, it's good for
But
them.
you can't just hand people the trophy. You know, you got to play the games. Anything can happen. Like people are saying, injuries occur. We'll see what happens.
It's a long
It's a
season.
long ass season. It's hell long,
Long.
hell long, and it's not how you start; it's how you finish, really. So we'll see in October what happens. Uh,
It's a war of attrition.
yeah,
162 games.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I know, man. It's a lot every day, daily. Yeah, which is a line from like Onyx or something, one of their songs. He was like, "We smoke weed every day, day."
Works.
Yeah, redundancy, Confederacy of redundancy, Kris. And so also, so the Mets lost. The Mets, who snatched Juan Soto from the Yankees with the biggest contract in sports history, whatever, 700 something million. Thanks for that, Kris.
Small.
um, and it was like poetic justice. It was like the Astros. They're playing the Astros of all teams, the assholes. Playing the Astros and in Houston, and their Mets are down 3-1, and they kind of have a rally going. There's two on with Juan Soto at the plate, and it's like, okay, two outs. Let's see what he does. This is what he's getting paid for, and he ends up striking out, whiffing, looking bad on that pitch, and it was just like poetic justice. It was like, okay, he left the Yankees to go with these guys. They lose on opening day to the hated Astros. And the year before, I guess the Yankees played the Astros on opening day, and he did hella good. He hit a home run, and he did all this crazy shit. So what a difference a year makes, I guess. And supposedly he said he was missing the Yankees. I don't buy all this crap. Yeah, I don't know. He's doing all these random interviews where he's like, "Oh, I kind of miss the Yankees" or something like that. It's like, dude, you already signed your ass over there, so just shut the hell up. Should be an interesting season. We'll see how everything pans out.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think, Kris? Are you a big baseball guy?
Not a big baseball game guy until like the playoffs roll around.
Right.
Then I'll start putting on the Padres and Red Sox gear.
Well, hopefully you won't uh, get the opportunity to put on Red Sox gear. But yeah, they improved. They signed a lot. I think they decided to actually sign some free agents and make trades because they got their ass kicked by the Yankees last year. Like just in the regular season games, like got their asses kicked. Like there was this late game. The Red Sox were already out of it. But there was a late game at Yankee Stadium, Red Sox Yankees. It was like the eighth inning, and Yankees were down three. bases loaded. Judge comes up and he hits a grand slam and just changed the whole thing. And the Red Sox are like, fuck, like they just got embarrassed all last year. And then Ben Rice, when he came up, he had a 3-homer game, against the Red Sox, and he's from Boston. He's from the Massachusetts area, so it just added more irony to the ass kicking. And so the Red Sox in the offseason were like, well, okay, we gotta do something. We gotta sign dudes. We gotta make trades because we can't get our asses kicked again like
Not
that.
by New York. No,
Yeah, exactly.
that's an intense rivalry. New York, Boston, any sport. That's
Yeah, exactly. Like, wasn't it the beginning of the year? It was like the World Series was going on, but NBA just started, and it was Celtics Knicks, and the crowd was like, "Yankees suck, Yankees." Suck."
exactly. While he's doing free throws, I think they
Yeah, yeah. And like Jalen Brunson's like looking around like, "What? What's going on?"
it's not a Yankees game.
Yeah, he's like, "What?" He's like highly confused.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, yeah, hopefully Brunson gets his back gets back to playing. I think they're floundering a little without him, but yeah, we'll see